Just had a couple of these arrive from China, the Superlux S241. Took about 3 months to get here thanks to the coronavirus, but finally arrived today. I'm excited to try them out. I bought them to use as drum overheads. At the moment, I've been running the Pro Audio MC01, which is a pretty basic offering. Pretty basic. It's about a $100 mic. It's got a cute little blue light in it. But, you know, it's not a great sound. I don't love it. So I thought, let's try something else. It was a toss-up between the Superlux S241 and the Rode NT5. I decided with these. I hope I made the right choice. We're going to find out today. In terms of these switches on the side, it's got some pretty cool little switches. It feels great in my hand. It's got a nice weight to it. With the switches, I'm going to leave all that flat so that this test is nice and balanced. And yeah, I'm just going to run the Pro Audios in first. Then I'll have a hit. And then I'll chuck these two on and I'll have another hit. Hopefully a similar hit so you can compare them. Let's give it a go and see how it runs. So I've got all the audio edited now, and the first thing that kind of struck me when I heard the difference between the two was the Superlux is brighter. It's got a nice brightness. It's not brittle. It's not harsh. There's a heap of transient information in there, which I love. It's just picking it all up. It doesn't have some of that low mid stuff that the SM Pro's doing. But what I noticed, straight away, it's picking up more of that top end, the real cracky, the hits of the drums and the cymbals just ring out really nicely, nice and bright, which for me is perfect. That's the sort of music I'm doing that requires a lot more of that bright cymbal sound, really hard transients. I think if I needed more of that low mid information, I'll probably dial in my room mic, which I've got set up to give a bit of that. But otherwise, I mean, for probably most of the stuff I'm doing, these are going to sound a hell of a lot better. And I'm so excited that I got them and I get the chance to play around with them now. Just some things that I noticed later on that I should add. First one is that when I positioned the Superlux up on this side, I didn't quite get it in the right spot. Oops. Hopefully that doesn't change the sound too much. I mean, I know that it will, but probably not a heck of a lot. Another thing I noticed was that the SM Pro had the 10 dB pad set on it, so I did the same thing to the Superlux, made sure I switched the pads on both of those before I hit record. And the last thing I wanted to point out was that when I jumped back into Pro Tools after I hit record, I noticed that my 8-inch tom was just not recording properly. There's a cable issue or connection or something going on there. And about 3/4 of the hits, or maybe about 2/3, just didn't work. So I had to go back through and sort of use some tom samples basically to get that sounding right. I also did some gating on the toms, nothing too crazy, just a little bit of basic gating, not as meticulous as I would normally be doing this sort of thing. So, it's just one other thing to consider. I thought I should mention it. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope this has given you a better idea about how these mics might sound in your studio. When I went looking around for these mics, I couldn't find much in the way of audio demos, so I thought as soon as I got hold of them, I'd chuck them up there and see what I could do and compare them to what I have. If you want to hear any other comparisons or maybe on a different instrument or something, just let me know. Leave your comments, let me know what you think about the differences with the two. If you like the sound of these, maybe you don't. Make sure you subscribe too, and I'll see you for the next shootout, whether it's a preamp or a mic or whatever I'm doing at the time. There'll be something soon, I'm sure. So I'll see you then.